On the channel, we dive into some Masters of the Universe inspired Mythic Legions. Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Mythic Legions unboxing and review. A rarish treat on the channel, I'd say. And today we're going to look at Mephitor? Sure. And this is a tough one. Bryophytus, or as I'd call it, Mossman and Stinkor. But remember, for all your Mythic Legion needs and a whole lot more, hit up Big Bad Toy Store. Link in the description below. And of course, Mythic Legions, the Four Horsemen, of course, helped work on some of the Masters Universe toy lines in the past. They have a strong affinity for Masters Universe figures, so they play around a little bit and give us a little bit inspired by Masters Universe figures here. And we've unboxed a few of those on the channel. The Chronaw, which I think was Trapjaw, Purplore, and then a Battle Cat inspired figure. Well, now we got Stinkor and of course Mossman inspired, and very, very cool idea. Mythic Legions, fabulous figures if you've never checked them out. I dabble, that's about the best I can do at this point, as there are more pricey figures. There are a lot of them. Many of them command a very, very high resale value. So to be able to get in, it'd be really tough to go back and get a lot of that stuff. But there's always new stuff coming, always new waves. Sometimes they re-release some stuff from time to time. So there is chances to get some stuff, but very, very cool. And I'd say one of the most popular, I don't know if it's third party, I wouldn't say third party, but one of the smaller companies out there. They have a very, very strong following. So kudos to that whole team out there. I wish I could dive in deeper to Mythic Legions. I just don't, cost a lot of money. Make it easy and simple. So there you go. But we're going to do this like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes. From there, we're going to start with Bryophytus. We're going to call him Mossman from here on out, just to make it simple for old Kyle. But let's take a look at the packaging here. Looking good. Looking like a Mossman, kind of. He's got the green, of course, and we know and love. Nice packaging here. A slimmer package. A little bit more eco-friendly. Not a lot of wasted retail space in here. Just they got the package flushed out perfectly here, so it looks really good. Like a lot of it, Mythic Legions right down there at the bottom. And then they got a little, I think that's his crest of his team. I believe that's how it goes with Mythic Legions. And then you get the blurb on the side, which is interesting. You don't see the blurb very often like that, but it is there on the side. And then you get the big blurb at the bottom there. I'm not going to read all that, but that kind of gives you the tale of the tape, the story of what the heck's going on in the Mythic Legions universe, which is, like I said, a growing by the day universe. Very, very cool. So we got that going on. I'm not going to read those. MythicLegions.com for all the info you'd want. I'm not going to read too much of his side thing either, but it basically talks about plant life around him stuff. A lot of similarities to Mossman. Very, I don't know about tongue-in-cheek's the right word, but a lot of Mossman love in this one, we'll just call it. And I like the packaging here. Save the packaging. You might as well, because guess what? It just slides right out like that. How cool is that? I think that is very awesome. Then he's just locked in here. We got a little action there. See you later off to the side. What's this little instruction say? Probably nothing too important. Oh my gosh. Oh yes, I remember this. Joints on Mythic Legion figures can become, easy for me to say, tight after production. When posing Mythic Legions for the first time, especially during cold weather, it's recommended that you heat the form, so with a hair dryer, warm water, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, dangerous. And then we got, of course, the silica gel packet. One of my favorite snacks. I always put this in my mouth. They say do not eat, but I don't listen to them. Or maybe I throw it away. Be careful old Lemmy doesn't get a hold of one of those. That's the case right there. A little plastic prison action here. There he is, old Mossman. He's got a little bit of like a troll head, of course, fitting in with the Mythic Legions teams and stuff. So he does have a little different look than Mossman, but very Mossman inspired for sure. We're going to get these twist ties undone here. Everybody loves a twist tie, right? Yeah, unless you don't. Then you don't. That's the way it goes. All right, pop him out. Maybe, there he is. And there it is, and see you later off to the side. All right, let's dig into this bag of accessories. Let's dig in. Oh, come on. Just can't win today. Everything's buckled in on me. A little scissors, always at the ready. Got the scissors at the ready. Okay, we got stuff there. We got stuff there. See you later. Get out of here. Let's start. All right, let's dig in. We've got a bit of a mace. A nice copper color to this one. Only one color. It's all copper. Nice details in here on the handle all the way up to the top. You can definitely do some damage swinging this bad boy like a baseball bat, for sure. So very cool right here. Interesting weapon. And then what else we got? Oh, we got the extra head. Okay, we'll dive into that here in a second. So then you get a nice, once again, copper knife. Very articulated knife here. Not articulated, but ornate, I guess I'll call it. But nice color to it with the copper. Really makes this seem a little bit more regal. And then you get the little sheath that you can put your knife into right here. And it does go one way. You slide it in there, and then it will fit on his belt. So we like that. Like to be able to store our accessories on our figures. It's always a plus. And we get this bad boy. Okay, so we get a little staff here, a little scepter almost type thing, and then I'm guessing this goes right in there, like so. You get a little bit of, it almost looks like, yeah, that is wood. I was going to say, is this supposed to be smoke, or is this wood? It looks like a tree, like an old weathered tree. Or it could be smoke, I guess, depending how you view it. And then you got a nice little green ball at the top. I got a little bit of scuff on that ball, unfortunately. Once again, fitting with all the other weapons, you got the copper down here. So this is like one of those magical sticks you can use to make magic happen. There you go. So we got one of those as an accessory. We got this waistband type thing. We get this seemingly with all Mythic Legions, at least all the ones I've purchased in this scale. They have come with one of these. And then you get the gauntlets on the side, the arm gauntlets. Choose your own adventure. Do you want them on there? Do you not want them on there? You can decide that. But these, as usual, look really good. Look very something out of, Wizards, Knights of the Round Table, things like that. Very cool. So you can put those on Mossman, or you can leave them off. You know, the one I'm excited about, and I guess maybe it's been so long since I bought this figure, I don't even need to cut it. Falls right out. I forgot he had this extra head, and I think this is the head I will definitely be using. So this head is more Mossman. It's still not quite Mossman, but it looks a lot more like Mossman than the other one. And feeling this guy, now this is interesting because I was wondering if this would be flocked. Obviously we know Mossman had kind of a flocking to him, a feel to him, especially if you had the old school Masters of the Universe toy that I had when I was a kid, one of my all-time favorites, and apparently it had like a pine smell to it. I don't remember. My sniffers never worked the best, so I don't, well, actually, this one has a little bit of a smell, but I don't know if it's supposed to or not. But it does have a smell more than different plastic. But it's probably because of the moss on him. We'll just call it moss. Now, it is kind of flocked, but not like your traditional Panther flocking, things we're used to. It almost feels like arts and crafts, like Michael's. You got some of that peat moss or whatever that moss stuff you can buy in bags and put out. It almost feels like that's all over him. I was a little worried this would be scraping off, but it does not seem to scrape off. So it is on there very well, but very good head. This will be the head I will end up using. Then you get that same material all over this head, all over this body here, and I like it a lot. It actually, it feels like it would, come off on you, but it does not. It does not come off, so I like that immensely. I like it a lot. All right, then we get down to the brass tacks. We get down to the articulation here. Uh-oh. It should go back. We're already having stuff falling off, so we are having stuff come off right off his chest. So that's one of those things, a kid, these really aren't for kids. I don't know any kids that are playing Mythic Legions, but they'd be rubbing this stuff off all over the place, I would assume, because I got a little bit of a pile here that has been falling off the figure that I'm just aware of right now. But you got the elbows, single jointed elbows, wrists, of course, move around, shoulders all over the place, up, down, all around. Your typical 6-7 inch scale articulation there in the shoulders. Head removable, does move around as well. Nice waist movement, but the waist does... Yeah, now I'm really having pieces starting to fall off here. I'm not a big fan of that. I don't know anybody that would be a big fan of that. But, yeah, I don't know. But then you get the waist, and when you do turn the waist, he has kind of this cummerbund going on here that does scrape off some of that stuff. So that is unfortunate as well. You got nice flaps here that move with the legs, so you can give him some great articulation at the legs, and these move with him, so I do appreciate that. Single jointed knees, not elbows, but knees. And then you got ankle rockers. And then you got toes. He's got big feet down here, like a hairy bipedal creature almost in some circles, you could say. You get the ankle rocker there. A little bit McFarlane-esque in the big ball down there at the foot. It is hidden well, though, with the decor of the shin guards. So I do appreciate that a little bit. But at the same time, let's see if I can pop this head off and a bunch more of that green stuff comes falling off. Yeah, that I don't like. That I sure don't like. This is a figure I don't know if I'm going to play with a whole lot. Not that I sit and have epic battles, or do I? But I'm going to take my time with this one, probably display him, and because I don't want this green stuff falling all over my shelves and all over everything. I got to think, though, eventually he'll kind of dry out a little bit, if that makes sense, and he won't have much more falling. But we didn't get any extra hands with this one or anything like that, for those of you guys asking at home either. But a bit, not a big figure, but a little bit burly. Almost looks like a green gorilla, especially with this head. But I am a fan of this. Still, at the end of the day, I do like this guy, and I like these Mythic Legions that are Masters Universe inspired, because that's what drove me over to Mythic Legions. And I figured a little smoke and mirrors, you could mix these guys in with your Masters Universe Classics figures if you were so inclined. Does this guy fit on a ringside collectible stand? That's $1 million question. And of course he does. He fits like an absolute glove right there. So if you need ringside stands, you can get those on ringsidecollectibles.com. Use discount code Kyle, save 10%. If you need some Mythic Legion stands for your collection. So that's the version of Moss Man. I'm going to be honest, a little bit of a mixed bag. I don't like this stuff flaking out all over the place. That is a little disappointing, but I get what they're trying to do there. I don't know if it worked as well as they hoped or I had hoped. So there it is. So let's clean this mess up, and we're going to be back with the Stinkor. All right, we're all cleaned up from Moss Man's moss, and we're here for round 2 as we got a little Stinkor action, or as he's known as Mephitor. And his little bio here on the side says basically the same thing as Stinkor. He gives out a toxic stench, foul ability to direct a spray of toxic gas in his enemy's direction. It's an unpleasant as it is deadly, his attack. So a little bit of a blurb action there. I didn't realize this until I really started looking at this, as he is smaller. So he is a smaller version of the Mythic Legions, as they have figures of all sizes, as we know. A troll size, middle of the road size, human size, deluxe size, then giant troll size. We unboxed the giant forest troll not too long ago on the channel. Check that out if you missed it. A fabulous figure. But much like the Moss Man version, we got the Mythic Legions logo down there. You got a little bit of his house and stuff. I love the mythology. It is Mythic Legion, after all. Everybody has a team, a house, or whatever they are a part of, and you can play along with that in your display, or you can create your own adventures, create your own world. Just a lot to do in the Mythic Legions universe. On the back, very similar to the packaging we saw with the Moss Man inspired figure. Got that going on there. So let's get him out of here. MythicLegions.com, SourceHorseman.com, StoreHorseman.com for all your Mythic Legion needs. And info and news and all that fun stuff. And of course, like I said earlier, Big Bad Toy Store. Link in the description below. Let's get him out of here. We got a lot of the same stuff. See you later. See you later, Spider-Man style. Got to get that out of there. Let's get all these weapons and stuff. What does he have going on here? All in nice plastic bags. We got multiple plastic bags going on. Let me see. Can I just cut it out? It's a lot of work unboxing some of these guys sometimes. You guys know. You know what it's like. Crossbow action. Ooh, extra head. Okay. Now we're cooking with fire. We're cooking with gas. So once again, we get some shoulder gauntlet armor. Put him to the side here. We go through these accessories first. You can use these, of course, on your character, or you can leave them off. Choose your own adventures, depending how you want him to be. So you got that option. See you later, plastic. See you later, plastic. You got that. Then we got that belt we talked about that you can use. It seems to come with about every one of this size, so we have that. Now, what's this crossbow business all about? Now, this looks a little bit delicate. This is one of those ones you got to be careful. Has a real string attached on it, which is really cool, but is blue in color. A different color blue down here on the handle. Nice silver on the bow, and then, of course, brown for the real string. So I like this, though. This looks very cool. Anytime you get a real string in something like this, it makes it seem just that much more special of a weapon. That being said, I could see the string breaking if you're not careful. Don't get crazy with it. You know, all that kind of rules of toys. Then he does have a blue shield, which we always think of Stinkor in the Masters Universe folklore with his blue shield. So great attention to detail here. We get that. And then we get an extra head in a little baggie here. So once again, just like the Moss Man inspired figure, if you want it to be He-Man inspired, you can, or you can move it to this troll head, which is very cool as well. So if you don't want to play along with the He-Man stuff, you can use this. It'll work on that body. Or guess what? You can buy 2 of these, use different heads, mix and match. Customs are a huge part of the Mythic Legion universe, as we know. Customizing things, making your own characters, doing stuff like that, and things like this do help that along. I should say, beautiful black head across. The white teeth and the yellow eyes make this bad boy pop. I do love that a whole lot. Very mean, very menacing. But for the way I collect Mythic Legions, I'm doing the Stinkor inspired. That's just the way I'm going to do it. It probably makes sense to you guys. I mean, that's what brought me to the dance here, was the He-Man stuff. So I'm going to keep it that way. But I can see a lot of people army building and doing some different things there. We'll get Mephitor, Stinkor. There he is in the package. Like I said, a little bit smaller. This would be my smallest Mythic Legion figure yet that I have owned. So that is interesting. Interesting enough. Then I got the hard decision here. He does come with a sword, so I got a very hard decision. What weapon am I going to use with him? You know, Stinkor, I always use the shield, so you can use the shield, but then do you use the sword, or do you use the crossbow? I'm leaning towards crossbow. See you later. The sword here, though, beautiful blue, matches the other accessories and weapons he has. Beautiful silver, sword silver going on here. Just very, very cool. But then I'm just torn here. I don't know what to use. It's going to be game time decision, display time decision. Then we get down to Stinkor here. An interesting take on Stinkor. Very smaller, though. I mean, you can see right here, about half the size of Mossman. Much smaller than anticipated. But once again, that goes to the Mythic Legion universe. Different size characters. Not everybody should be the same. He does have a skunk-type appearance to him, but almost like a cat. Kind of a mismatch of different animals kind of thrown into one a little bit, but obviously a lot of skunk going on here with the coloring. He does have his battle armor throughout, as you can see, nice spikes throughout, and even silver on his shoulders up here. A lot going on. I wish he did have his mask, because Stinkor always had a mask or a little apparatus that was kind of up there. He does have that a little bit, but not quite as high as we would like it to be. I guess you put his head down, you can maybe kind of do that a little bit, reenact that. But this doesn't feel... This feels a lot more like Mossman than this feels like Stinkor. I don't know if that makes sense. It definitely looks like Stinkor. I get Stinkor vibes from it. But I think if you put these two together, most people would say, oh yeah, there's Mossman now. I think this is Stinkor, but I'm not 100% sure. Whoa, and Mossman taking a dive at the table. I thought he was jumping off. So that's interesting. But you get the black and orange attack. He's ready for Halloween. He's ready to wrestle Taz in ECW back in the day. Articulation-wise, he's the same as Mossman. The same thing going on. We do have an upper diaphragm joint there. And then nothing at the waist. Yeah, nothing at the waist. It's all upper on this guy. But a big head that really does move around. You get tons of articulation in this head. He can look all over the place. Once again, you get nice yellow, almost cat-like eyes on this guy that really makes it pop with the black and white head sculpt. The fur kind of loincloth look. A Masters of the Universe staple brought over into here. Got a little bit of a jewel right there in the crotch. And then he, once again, is ready to play catch for a baseball team as he's got shin guards going on. And then he's got a little spikes on his shoes. I mean, they almost look like big shoes going on for him there. So interesting. He stands perfectly fine on his own, but I'm sure he's going to fit on a stand as well. Fits like a glove. Oh, as I drop it. But yeah, he fits fairly well on a stand if you are so inclined to put him on a stand. So you do have that. I like this one. I'm going to pop this head off and see how this looks. So once again, they've got a big neck there. A big long neck, of course. Oh my gosh, go on. Sometimes these heads, there it is. So it definitely changes up the appearance of the character when you put this head on him. I think it definitely looks better with the Stinkor head, but it's cool to get this goblin-esque head going on. It's something a little different, for sure. Huh. Yeah, I'm going to stick with the Stinkor head for sure. And that's the way we knew I was going to do that. But very interesting dynamic, very choose your own adventures with these Mythic Legion figures. There's Mossman. You can see really height-wise right here. It's just unbelievable height difference. Very big. I don't think in the Masters of the Universe world it's quite that big of a height difference. But I guess Mossman can grow as big as you want. We've seen that before. Some other Mythic Legions, of course, that Kronoth. Hopefully I'm saying these right. That's the Trapjaw inspired. You got Purplor, of course, the Panther inspired, and then a Battle Cat inspired figure here. So we're building out some stuff. Unfortunately, going way back, they had a Prince Adam He-Man inspired, and then a Skeletor inspired figure. I missed out on both those. Those things are expensive. I believe they have a Tila and Man-at-Arms inspired figure as well. My plan is, if they get re-released or as new ones start to come out, I will probably dabble. You gotta cut the line somewhere. I would love to be all in on Mythic Legions, but man, it's an expensive price point, and with everything else we collect, you got to pick and choose sometimes. And Mythic Legions is one of those ones I do pick and choose on. I do have a few things pre-ordered from them, so there'll be some more Mythic Legions in the future, but a very, very interesting line that I hope to see succeed and grow. Who knows? We might see these on store shelves one day. The way they're growing and the fans' love of these, we might see more Mythic Legions in the future in bigger stores. I hope that happens. More competition, the better. Then you guys know how it goes as well. The more product that is made gets the cost down a little bit. So it would be nice to get these down to like a $30 price point, $25 price point one day. I think that would truly be a game changer. So we'll see what the future may bring for Mythic Legion and the Four Horsemen. But if you're interested in these, like I said, Big Bad Toy Store, link in the description below. So there it is. Let me know in the bottom of the comments, what do you think about Mythic Legions? You all in, you all out, you dabbling, you getting all of them? Where do you sit with the Mythic Legion universe? Let me know in the comments. Sound off below. Make sure you thumbs up the video. You made it this far. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit the old notification bell. Follow along on all the fun on Patreon as we put a lot of videos up weeks, sometimes months early, so you can get first access to the videos, plus a lot of other bonus surprises on the old Patreon. SirPaul64 on Twitter is where you're going to find me. Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson, and ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson. So for a little Mythic Legion action today, I am Kyle. See you guys all real soon.